Wow, am I proud of you all for showing up. So there is so much to cover today, as you can imagine. Katrina, everybody, if I didn't say your name, it's not because I'm not looking at you. I am drinking you in right now, my friends. And is that Nina? Germany in the house. Oh my God, I love seeing. And Susie, you're in Portugal. We got some culture here. You know, I was in a store yesterday and I was getting a beautiful cashmere sweater. And I was standing next to a lady. She was so happy because I have a clear mask. And like people are like, I love your smile. And I'm like, we need to smile again. We need to love each other. And the computer wouldn't work. And I said, you know what? I'm just going to leave the store. And as soon as I left the field, like she got to do the sale thing immediately. And I want you all to understand that, because as you change frequency and vibration, the technology can't keep up. I just want you to understand that. And I don't consider myself different than everyone. I just consider myself the trailblazer that's doing my best to give you directions and save you time and energy. You want a neural net that is firing so vibrantly that all your lighthouse, all other fields are completely impacted by you. So when I share details like that, I don't talk to hear myself talk. I talk enough. I'm sharing with you that if your technology is going off, if something's happening, walk out of the field, because as you light up your neural net like we are, hi, Catherine, and get my manifestor on there. I want you to consider that as we go through our evolutionary leaps, and Chrissy and I were just talking about starting Mastery 4 after Chinese New Year, so that we're through this next couple of months of cycle that are going to be really, really, really intense and super uninteresting for those on the evolutionary leap. However, as light beings, you absolutely must pay attention so you beam your light into the field. Hey, Julie. Holy, holy, holy is the Lord God. Kadosh, Kadosh, Kadosh Adonai Sabayot. As we come together today in the grace of the divine union that we are, we're going to begin to call ourselves the purple people, which is blue and red melted together. It's also the race that is missing from this planet. If you look at the Urantia book, there's the orange and the yellow and the red, and I want to say the blue or the green, and the purple race is no longer here. And so Mani, my awesome sister, brought up the purple idea now because we have a doorway of soothing the division of all humanity. So what we do in our consciousness, right, and in our heart right now is we go into the tail of the snake, because what we're watching on Earth is a two-headed snake, and we're watching it try to create division. And I'm going to say this down into our own heart and our being as we pray this into this world, is that we make unification within us because we know the whole universe is inside of us. It is completely acceptable that that is a concept until it is real. We call forth the grace of the archangels to create unity and uniform consciousness within our own being, recognizing that we are leaving the stage of personality. We recognize that we are a soul understanding our perceptions through the life experiences that we've created. And we call forth the combined integration of all of our knowledge, our ledge of now. We ask that the holy angels create more and more healing within us today. We ask that the holy angels lift us up in our hearts, our minds, our tongues, our hair follicles, our toenails, every aspect of the creation of your rainbow projection of your ego come in complete harmony with the soul consciousness today. We ask that the grace of forgiveness, compassion, divine essence lift up all beings on this globe working towards reveal of truth. We ask that our hearts and mind push forward the agenda that is the honey trap, that is the sting operation that has consciously been activated in this globe to reveal the aspects of beings that wish to take away the playground of the souls discovering their ego's perceptions. And more importantly, we ask that joy, laughter, and fun encompass us today and from this day forward as we evolve into the truth of who we truly are. In the glory of God, we say that it is so, and so it is. Amen. A woman. Aho. Whew. That was an articulate prescription. I love what comes through. I never know. Oh, the Holy Spirit has us really busy right now. So, number one, I'm going to ask you all to become extremely conscious of the fact that we are in a PowerPoint week. And it'll sound egoic for a second, but my birthday is 11/11, which is Wednesday. There's a reason I walked into this planet on that day, is that it's the most powerful doorway of the year. I'm going to say that again. It is the most powerful doorway of the year. 11 is mastery. It's double mastery. And I'm going to ask each and every one of you to use it like a New Year's. Set your intentions, write down what it is that you want, put it in the causal plane, and make 11/11 more of a sacred day than you may have before if you did not know this. Make sure you talk to the people you love before and share that wisdom. New Year's on the planet is hideous. The worst astrology of the year is between Christmas and New Year's. You should just basically ignore that week. Go sit on a mountain. Like, don't talk to people. It's a horrible time. But that's what the Gregorian Pope Gregory did when he changed the whole dates, and we went off cycle, which was the equinoxes and the solstices, which I consider like reset points or intention points every quarter. You know, December 21. We know that this December 21, and I'm considering Luke and I doing a class on that day so that we catch this planetary thing. And it would be really good if you texted the office. We'll do affordable, whatever we do, but it'd be a really good day for all of us to connect, because we have a planetary shift happening that has not happened for 26,000 years, I believe. I think it's a long time. It's a big deal. So if you set your 11/11 as a unity between yourself, your mastery, your future self, and all experiences that have occurred up until now to create whatever diamond consciousness that you have, whatever facets of wisdom that you've been able to embody, and put into that vision the new facets that you want to cut. I'm not exaggerating here. I'm actually being really, really emphatic. If I could put like emojis and exclamation points and all that stuff around this, I would say, do not screw up your 11/11. You know, I'm your model squad cheerleader of that doorway. And it's and birthdays, by the way, the doorway is 5 days before, 5 days after. So I feel very blessed that I get to do a Sacred Sunday with you in my portal. Secondly, I would like to invite you to be conscious. And when we do breakout groups today, you're going to really name the place that you're terrified to go in your empowerment and the pattern that you use to block yourself. So sometimes you use your children, you use your mate, you use your self-concepts, you use your parents, which that, if you're talking to me at this point, that should just be literally done. Mom is an egg, dad's a sperm, you're all good looking. What's the problem? Like, just get over it. You need to be grateful. There's no spiritual path that doesn't tell you, you better love your mom and dad, even if they were treacherous behavioral patterns that made you strong. You loving your parents is crucial. That's why I bring my parents here, because many of you did not have loving earth parents, and my parents are, as we all know. Yeah. Hello, mama. My spring parents. We're like the happy clan. And it's so cute because my brother's a summer and he's like, he doesn't radiate the sunshine the same way as we do at all. We always like laugh about the kind of moodiness of my brother. And he's in a good mood right now. We're very fortunate. So the thing I want you to sense, see, sense, and feel over this next 3-day cycle, 4 days, if you include the rest of today. What do you do that 100% sabotages the glory of your light being shown in this world? Because you got to edit that now. You don't bring this out of 2020. And if you need support on that, great. Get support. There's plenty of ways for you to get support. Owning up verbally what you do, in my experience, helps you put that pattern in consciousness so that you can start to be totally uncomfortable when you fall into it. You're never going to change a way of being by just identifying it from your mind. That's not realistic. I want your light out there and I want to know what you do. Everybody does something. I think, one of the things, I'm always trying to be an example. What do? This is an interesting one. I think that my lifelong embarrassment of being such a radiant person, and I've been a radiant person since I was a child. My mom we used to go to Mexico when I was about 8, and they would just follow us down the street, try to touch my hair. It was like weird. And people always, as a manifestor, it's hard because you walk in a room and everybody looks at you. And people think, oh, that's so great. No, it isn't so great. You can't, you make a mistake, everybody sees it. I have so many planets in Scorpio. I would be a very private person if I could follow that astrological inclination. And so I know what I did was I made myself ill to try to be like everybody else. And I know that in current tone of what we do, people will dumb themselves down. I know I've done it to try to meet the mean of the culture, the average mean. I don't know if that's the right language, like when you add things up and you get an average. I would say that that's sort of my life every day. And I don't mean that in a condescending way at all. I think all of you on this call have the same situation in your own families, in your businesses, in your friendships. We pick the least controversial thing so that there's some level of harmony. And what I figured out, or what I think I figured out, is the remedy to all of this is to amp up the love and be unwilling to go into divisiveness or counterpoint other than in love. It's very divisive. All these movements are divisive. Even Trump is, you often know God through corruption. Like, I want everyone to really get that. We've watched more corruption begin to come to the surface, only begin. It's not really out there yet. And then you can find source in that. You can find God in every moment of that. I'm going back to that place of what we do to dumb ourselves down is we pick an entry point into the relationship with people. And I'm going to invite you not to do this from 11/11 to 11/11 of 21. I'm going to invite you today to find the most loving thing to say in that moment. Don't worry if it's popular or not. This is the opportunity in front of me. And I think you're going to have to be more powerful soldiers of, I want to call it the truth of light. There's light and there's dark. And light is different than truth. The truth on this planet is coming through those filters and everybody's injury and lack of knowledge. So what I want us to do right away, before we do meditations, I want to break out, and I hope that I name that enough, is that I'm not going to dumb down my radiance anywhere I go anymore. And there's a spider web of how you do it to make someone else more comfortable. I have access to a level of love that I know most of humanity, as you all do not have. I'm asking you to press the go button and make your 11/11 to 11/11 your most profound, outspoken love nature that you have ever done. And because I'm asking you, inviting you, surprising you, whatever your design is, you're not initiating. So any of you that want to follow your manifestor generator, your reflector, your projector strategies, you get to follow them because I'm initiating this movement for the globe. And other people are, except most people don't have brain chemistry, and that's not arrogance. Most people's nervous system are so whacked out, they can't be still enough to initiate anything new. They're in a loop tape. That's what fight or flight does. That's what lack of GABA, serotonin, endorphins, melatonin, too much stress hormones, norepinephrine, cortisol, adrenaline, they cannot, and adenosine, calming neurotransmitter that nobody talks about. That's the most important. They can't initiate. And so I'm inviting each of you to initiate in your business, in your families. And I mean, no laziness. Consciousness is not convenient. I'm asking you to use muscles, and you're the only one that can sleep with yourself at night to know if you have proactively done this everywhere that you can. So let's break up into groups. I don't know how many. I would say if we do 5 in a group, we'll have a couple extra. And we do 10 minutes, 2 minutes a person. You are naming very, very quickly and efficiently what do you do actively to slay your light? I said something else. What did I say? Chrissy, what did I say?
Name the place you're terrified to go in your empowerment and what you use to block it. What do you do that 100% sabotages the glory of your light in this world?
Yeah. And I'm at like, how willing are you? And just give yourself a percentage. I hope that I'm about 98% willing. I really am. I mean, I say the uncomfortable thing in almost everybody's life. And you admitted her. Say how willing are you? Give yourself a percentage and be realistic. I mean, maybe I'm only 80% when I'm exhausted. Yeah, that's easily true. Or maybe I'm not even 1% when I'm exhausted. What is your percentage of how willing you are to shine your light regardless of what's coming at you? If you need to be liked, if you need approval, I'm going to say right now, you're screwed. Like, you better have sorted that out. You like that needs to be handled in healing sessions. You cannot be a person that needs approval from the outside world and be part of the force that's changing the world. Okay, I know it's a sobering start. We'll get juicy. Okay, so I hope everybody benefited from just getting that out. And I want to put on that, like one of our people said that, they become a wallflower in rooms instead of speaking up. They just observe. And then one of the sabotages is they'll tell themselves a negative story, which we all know that's when you talk to the subconscious. What I want to put out is the invitation that whatever it is you named, you don't do for 12 months. No more. You know what this strategy does for you. You recognize that this is a survival that you created at some other point in your time and your life, your timeline, and it's not relevant anymore. It's not relevant to dim your light. It's not relevant to shut up. Another woman was saying how she will not tell her feelings, especially to men. And so I said, look, I want to recommend that for 12 months, you got 5 men that you share your feelings with, and you say to them, and I want you guys to have this as a model. So let's say you've got an area with a weak muscle. You go to your friend, your soul confessor, your buddies, your teammates, which you better have at this point. We're going to get through this as a team globally, but you need your home-based team, 2, 3, 4 people that have your back. Even one other person, but ideally 3 or 4. And you own up and you say, you know what? I don't have any muscle when it comes to saying no. I don't have any muscle, or I have a weak muscle. Your subconscious doesn't like when you don't have any, because the subconscious is always trying to make you feel safe. My subconscious doesn't really prosper when I do this, that, or the other that breaks that boundary or breaks that thing. So would you hold space for me this year? Would you call me out to share my feelings? Would you call me out to ask my opinion? Would you call me out to uh, ask what the loving perspective would be in this circumstance? Because every one of you know the highest love perspective. I know you all well enough at this point that you all know what is correct. And when you don't, it's totally fine. For the people who are emotional in human design, sometimes you sleep on it. Sometimes you sleep on it 2 or 3 days. Your inner standing, that's probably the best thing that Charlie Freak brought out into the communities is you're not understanding. You only stand under God. Your inner standing is going to tell you the truth. It's your truthometer. So I want to suggest, and I'm going to give one little caveat about speaking loving truth in your family. When you have a friend, a family that you're not going to get rid of them. They're your mother, father, brother, sister, cousin, whatever. If they are a complainer, all you do is up the ante with someone who you're not going to change. So when I get complainers that, for some reason or other, they're in my life, I just double the complaint. Like, oh, it rained the other day. Oh, I know. It rained horribly here. I walked out in a mud puddle and I splashed myself. It was dreadful. What you're saying is that this is the only way they have like a crevice to get love into their field. Be discerning. Do not get into an argument when they can't hear your loving words. The way to love that species is to double down. Double the ante of whatever their, curmudgeon thing is. So just be intelligent. Don't try to win people over. And then I said another thing in our group is the worlds are splitting. We are absolutely in a split. And one of the ladies was like, well, I don't want to leave my family. Here's what I'm going to say that I can say for now as I see it. And, who's to say that I'm right? You cannot carry anyone else into this vibratory shift. Put that in the chat. You cannot carry anyone else into this vibratory shift. You can model this shift for your children. You can invite the people to go into a higher frequency with you, as I am always inviting you guys, the greater good, and I say a lot of triggering things, and I know that because you won't know where you're stuck unless something triggers it. Manifestors on here, like that's one of our roles, is to like show the resistance. So as we go into a hopefully a beautiful meditation today, I'm going to teach the source breathing that Lucas taught us. I love this. At 4 a.m. this morning, I was doing it for like half an hour. I was like completely literally I became the earth, and it was incredible. And I'm hoping that as you all benefit from this, I haven't listened to his instructions a bunch of times, so I think I'll get it right. I just want to be able to say that if you can walk away from what you've experienced last year to this year and gift yourself with a really articulate recognition of how much of you has changed, acknowledging your subconscious. And I'm going very slow today because when the world goes fast in the wrong direction, you need to slow down. We care how our recognition of self and soul, and remember, I think self-esteem is like recognizing source in self. It's like I think I feel confident that I could be in front of anyone, anytime, any place, and find a loving way through if I'm not exhausted. I think when we're exhausted, we're unreliable in this vessel. I don't know. I think because my parents love me so much, I've created an inner standing that is not as fractured as most people. My mom will say, I had no idea what to do with you, but they didn't stop me. And most people had so much hypercriticism that they stopped themselves. And we all created this. You're not a victim of anything. So if you were to abandon every previous strategy that you have done to make yourself invisible, to dim your light, to sabotage you speaking truth, what would your life look like if you stopped it for 12 months? I think that's realistic. Now, it doesn't mean you'll come out of it. It just means that we're putting so much attention and consciousness on it today that hopefully when you fall into it, you're uncomfortable. That's my goal. I'll talk about this with my mom I try to use my family as examples, but one of our beefs our whole life is that my mom is a sharer, and she shares about all the village and about all the friends and about everything. And I'm always like, Mom, I don't even know who that person is. I want to spend time with you. I don't care about blah, blah, blah. And so we've had this, like, I sometimes I like just, let her share because she's being a woman and she's sharing as we women do. And then sometimes I'm like, I can't listen about this person. And she's not a negative gossiper. She's just, is kind of putting all the puzzle together. And it's a beautiful thing because she was like president of New Neighbors League in like 12 different locations all of my young life and became friendly with everybody. So here we are today. I'm a result of that. But let's just look at where we spend our chi. Remember, talk is chi. It's your chi. And your tongue is the sword of truth. So I'm going to suggest that within this 12-month cycle, we practice as a community of Love Nation, as sisters and brothers of the same rainbow, that we only speak uplifting things to others, even when we're lasering them with truth. And one of the strategies that has been very successful for me is you tell them what they're doing correctly, and then you weave in, I totally recognize that that's your point of view, and that's really great. My understanding is blah, blah, blah. I am not saying this to hear myself talk today, y'all. I want boots on the ground in all these countries. I am asking you, inviting you, activating you, initiating with you to be a global ambassador of light in every circumstance. Do not buy into anything being projected out in the external world because, number one, it doesn't matter. And number two, most of it is full of lies. Maybe it'll get revealed this lifetime, maybe it won't. As you get clearer and clearer in your understanding, and as Charlie Freak talks about, there are catacombs of knowledge, gnosis, that have been buried to us for thousands of years. And my understanding, and it checks, he initiated this conversation in a few communities. I believe that we're going to have to research and look things up for ourselves to get the data. It's not just going to be spoon-fed to you. When you understand the true stories of Christ, when you understand the wisdom, when you realize, I mean, come on, all we have to do is look at the pyramids. There's no way a less advanced culture built the pyramids. Like, come on, let's be logical, people. Where is that knowledge? Well, that knowledge has been kept from us because we are a brainwashed culture. And as we hold each other accountable to greater and greater levels of light, if you look back, how can you look forward? Oh, yes, some of us in our third eye have sight in the back, not many. If I look back constantly and I'm taking accountability of my lovely little altar there, how do I get to see you? How do I get to see what's in front of me? I know today is the basics. They're the basics that we must make strong and sturdy to go through this energetic split. We are in the split. You will have friends that you will never speak to again over this 12 months. You will. You may have family members that have chosen their exit strategy and they pass away into the light. When you listen to Mastery 1, 2, and 3, you will develop, and it'll probably take 12 more months, a base of neutral. Looking upon that which is occurring with neutral, you've got power. You have more power than you know. And proactively bringing your light to the conversation in every situation. And that looks like this. Do your meditation in the morning. And also, guys, if you're not in a daily practice of something, you're missing your fuel. You're missing your fuel. You've got to still your mind every day and not have any influence. Well, I'll say this, a beautiful girl. I love Bentinho Massari. You guys know I just adore that kid. And he's 32, but man, is he awake in ways most humans aren't. And he's been such a support the last 2 or 3 years of me speaking my voice from listening to him. And, you know, I've been in his classes. I paid 500 a month, 1,000 a month for all kinds of things. He doesn't recognize me. He doesn't talk to me. Does that stop me for 1 millisecond wringing out his sponge of morsels of truth? No way. No way. He's the best male version out there. And, you know, if I had anyone I admired, it would for sure be him. His Mirror Talks podcasts are fantastic. They're on YouTube. You can get on Bentinho Massaro TV, which is awesome. It's about $22 a month. I did it for about a year and a half. And you get more talks earlier, but it's no charge. Listen to those talks, because I feel like on some levels, and I don't want to be arrogant, but I feel like I bring a feminine languaging, he brings a masculine languaging, and he's also young. And there are perspectives, and he's very open about that. He, you know, people have projected he has a big ego. I don't read any of that into his talk. And I would suggest that if you feel that your ego might be pushing up on something, and remember, ego is just concepts of your perceptions that your soul is trying to work out. They're just perceptions that your soul is trying to work out. You are the master of your universe. There is no one else creating your world. If I'm lucky, I get to be some sort of a pressure to influence you to find the truth of who you are. Find it. Most meditation on this globe is people focusing on their breath, an idea, a concept. Meditation is a state that you begin to enter as you recognize that you are not this body. You have access to this body to perceive things in this world, so you can discover corruptions where you can find God and source in all those corruptions. And the corruptions are in your own mind. Like, if you think about the fact that everybody is you, why do you want to think ill of someone else? Now, there's some corrupt aspects of humanity that I don't just think about at all. They don't get my mental real estate. I want to encourage you to find your Velcro in the next 3 days. What hooks you? Is it politics? Is it sex? Is it food? Is it money? What is it that hooks you and makes you loop on something that now is a portal of draining your light? This is a power-packed 72 hours. I am going to invite each of you not to be lazy 1 minute of it. The one thing that I know, or that would appear, what do I know? The one thing I suspect is that the instructions that come to me are to prepare people for what's coming. And another one of our groups said that, you know, I wish I just knew which way it was going and then I could plan so I'm prepared. I am telling you how to prepare for the split by being in it. Do not ever pick a divisive role. Choose to be purple. The Urantia book is like one of the densest pieces of information about humanity and about the races and about what happened on this planet. I could never get through it. I can open it up and look at things, you know, and find, and then I have people like Luke reminding me of the purple race 6 months ago. And then Monty yesterday goes, no, we're going to be purple, which is in this country, blue and red together, which is like genius. We must bring back that purple perspective that oftentimes is a third eye indicator in some of the systems. What is the vision that I know? I know that you are me and I'm you, and I want to care for me by getting you to remember who you are. And what we get to do in this next little event is allow you, I'm hoping to do a surgery where you allow the parts of you that you love so much and yet can't quite let go of, allow them to be integrated back into the light and maybe not part of your daily perspective. We're going to go good places today. So that was juicy. I think we should have a little bit of feedback on what I said. I want to put on the gallery before we go in there, because I was kind of shown to like get your minds on the right track for the next 72 hours to walk into that doorway, and do not be lazy. Do not, my friends. It is a loss of opportunity. So I'd love to hear from anybody with what's come up or what clarity. You know that when you speak up, you will help someone else integrate more powerfully. Share, please. Don't be slow. All right, Nora, I'm going to call on you. Nora, bring it on, brother. What did you hear? What are you inspired from? Or is it inspirational? Whatever. I don't want to put words in your mouth.
Every word that you speak is definitely inspirational. I think what you've been constantly talking about is move forward. Don't be shy of shining a light. Don't let the times that lower you down or bring you down let you believe that you are any lower or less. So I think that's always been the crux, and I'm listening.
Awesome. You are a radiant man. We're so lucky to have you in the family. Next, Mary. Let's hear from Mary, my Irish bird. So Mary, one of the things that you bring to the table, I just want to name this quality about you that's so beautiful, is that you have never stopped learning. You love it, you crave it, and I am so proud of you, because for people in your generation, you were told to be silent and to like be satisfied. So I just want to bring that quality out. And I'm always admiring my elder females, because you had less opportunity than my generation. And so I just want to acknowledge you for that, because I think it's really beautiful. We have Meadow, we have a lot of beautiful Anne, Mom, anyone I haven't mentioned. So I guess you're getting an acknowledgement. Is there anything you want to say from that, honey?
I am so moved with all that you say, Angel. I feel this is very important, what you say about going from consciousness and in a way research and so on to muscles. And that I feel I need to not exactly do gardening, I think, but do muscles and move things. I moved my whole home around last night in the last 5 hours, everything completely different, hawking things around. So I feel there's something important about muscles. I'm getting ready and I'm trying not to cause trouble, but I'm not lying down either. So it's great. Thanks for your guidance.
Yeah.
Love to everyone. Thanks, Angel, for your
that's
encouragement.
She said something very important. Change your inner world here. You'll see how all of your home needs to be different, or what it needs to look like. So I want you to understand that what Mary just pointed out, get rid of anything that does not bring you joy, happiness, and is totally practical. And when you're in readiness, externally, internally, consciously, we will sail through this shift this next 12 months. We will sail through it, my friends. I guarantee you that. Okay, I want to hear from one more beautiful radiant light, I can tell. Anne Ryan, another beautiful elder of our culture.
Good morning, afternoon, and good night. Oh my gosh. Angel, the things that you said today that just so landed and jumped out at me, I absolutely adore the red and blue. Mm-hmm. I love that place of saying, how can I facilitate moving to a higher plane from our conflict to enjoying and embracing those conflicts, because there's no way we can ever get to a higher plane without the conflict first. Yeah. So enjoying that, and then seeing how that is how in my own little space, in everyone else's space, that is how we are co-creating the universe. Yeah. That is the absolute brilliance of how we are all needed, doing 100% of whatever we're doing, regardless of that. My 100% today is going to be 10% of what I can do tomorrow. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah. That's brilliant. So, okay, kids, have a drink of water. And I'm going to do my best to describe this breathing, because it is profound. First of all, I want to invite each and every one of you to become very comfortable. Let yourself at this time, if you can, sit with your back straight, your eyes closed, your tongue to the roof of the mouth. I invite everybody to sit with your back, your spine straight. in a relaxed fashion, relaxing your eyebrows, your shoulders, and your hips. Just let them go. We'll do 3 breaths in of a beautiful white mist in the nose, and as we breathe out the mouth, all your troubles and worries melt away. So breathe in and let the mist take all your troubles and concerns away. And again. Last one. Now we're going to do this source breath, and it goes 6 ways. So the first pillar goes through the crown of the head, through the spine, and out the coccyx. You're going to breathe in. As you breathe in, you're going to breathe that energy from both directions, below the coccyx and above, from that pillar of your spine. The next direction that we breathe in, all at the same time, is from perpendicular at the coccyx. So like a cross. And the third direction is going from the coccyx to the front of you and the back of you. It's quite powerful. And as our dear friend Luke said, for females, you might think of breathing in more of a spherical fashion. Sometimes the linear thinking can throw you off. So imagine a huge circle around you and the breath is coming all ways. I happen to like thinking of the 6 directions. From the crown all the way up, you bring that breath into the coccyx. From the earth all the way down, you bring it up to the coccyx. That's your first line. The second line is like perpendicular, and that goes out the side of you. And the other one is a line through the coccyx from the front of you to the back of you. So we're going to do this breathing together for a few minutes. Relax your shoulders, your hips, your eyebrows. And let's begin breathing. And it's going to be about the same pace as we breathe in and we breathe out. Here we go. Breathe in. Feel it go into your coccyx from all directions and breathe out your mouth. And in again. And out. Continue breathing. Imagining the energy coming from all resources into the coccyx with the breath in and releasing from the coccyx, going in all directions. And now, as you can continue, I want you to imagine that beautiful energy of your brain. Step your consciousness into your brain. Feel that energy. Don't be concerned if you stop the breath in that fashion. You've already commenced. As you stand in your own brain, you see a beautiful golden door. Open that golden door. Walk down the spiral staircase to the heart. Run, don't look back. As you land on the platform of your heart, you once again see a beautiful golden door. Walk through the golden door, close it, lock it, and stand on that platform. Let's do another breath like that, 6 ways. Three more. And as we feel more of a harmony of all of us together in this beautiful heart space, look in front of you about 12 feet, see the edge of the platform. Walk to the edge of the platform of your own heart, open your arms and fall forward into the tiny space of the heart. This is where time is spherical. We are all in this together. We feel the communion of our beautiful heart light. We feel the resonance of the potency of who we are. We feel the radiance of our divine essence communing in a purple flame. And from this tiny space of the heart, where all things are connected, let's continue the source breath. Breathing in all 6 directions, feeling that energy coming into the coccyx as we breathe out, all of that energy releasing in 6 directions. Notice how it helps you release your attachment to your vessel. Let's begin. Touch your tongue to the roof of the mouth if you are able. And begin imagining yourself in a beautiful orb of light, recognizing that this source breath is the fuel for this orb that can travel dimensionally through time and space, through different universes. Feel yourself more as the essence of this orb of light as we begin to commune in our work together today. Feel all of us in this space, all of our orbs connecting in a beautiful cylinder of light. Let us aim this violet flame at each culture, each country, each city in the matrix of Earth. I ask you all to keep your source breath going as we focus this light into the city, the culture, the country, the continent, and the entire matrix of Earth in this next round of breath. Breathe in. And then as we individuate all those different flames, bring them into one vast violet fire. See that in your eyes, see it inside of your own body, the violet fire burning off all the division within your own self, within your family, within your tribe, within the human race, within all the galaxies, and within all of creation, known and unknown. Let us fan the flames of the violet fire now. Keep breathing. And now, as you begin to arrive in a space where you recognize, and maybe you're in the journey of this, all of creation is inside of you. Feel the vast enormity of your own consciousness. Your creator consciousness as God and recognize that source in self. And now inside of this violet flame, I want us to each connect to the unconditional love of all of the universes, known and unknown, that are radiating that love upon us in order for us to exist. Let us bring the storm of pink. Bring it in as like never before, like as if you're in a snowstorm, except it's pink light. Bring the pink. See it coming from all aspects of your being surrounding you. See all of your galactic families doing a rainbow of pink right into you as a creator God of the whole of creation inside of you. And whatever it feels like at this time is truth for yourself. And now just breathe in and out your nose. And in this beautiful pink community of light, please call into our circle all souls who are part of the beautiful purple mission. Feel our circle fill with all the souls, all the beings, all those coming into our world, all those teammates that we've known for many lifetimes and perhaps not visited again for hundreds of lifetimes. Call their source light into our circle of light. They will receive the message today. I promise you. Call them in as you use this source force of this breath. And as the crowds arrive, as we fill our entire stadium of force light beings, of source force, I want you to individually call in your team of 12. Call in your team of 12, maybe in the physical or non-physical. Each one of you need this support structure around you. We have each other, that's a guarantee. Let's ask for boots on the ground. So feel the enormity of all of these beings calling in. I feel a good 10 million. I do. I feel millions and millions of us in this source light as we're pressing the go button, as we launch into 1111. We repeat this meditation, hopefully, as whatever you remember, it'll be perfect. And bring those tribes to us and bring in your 12, 12, 13, and then I want you to personalize this, connecting that bliss body that we've taught so many times, activate all the figure eights, and activate the bliss of this incredible communion of source light souls. Feeling that bliss, educating your mental bodies. feeling that source light educating the mental bodies and feeling it educating the energy bodies. And feel that perforate and go into the membrane of your source chemical body that is housing your connection to this matrix, the beauty and the divine light of it. Feel all these layers, feel the multiplex of your creation. Feel how profoundly you are invigorated by so much efforts of so many lights. And now I want you to drink in starlight. We forget to do this. Let the starlight rain down the neutrinos into your source body, feeding every body. And feel us all in a neutrino starlight storm now, awakening us to the beautiful hidden concepts of the truth of our life, the truth of our love. Let this be a resource that feeds us all the next 3 months. And as we feel all of this harmonizing, I want you to wiggle your fingers and your toes. Have a huge stretch. Oh, when you are ready, come back to gallery. 17 minutes. It's a significant letter. Come back to the gallery and look upon each other in full recognition of the magnificent light that you are, the gorgeous radiance. We remember our source light tribe. We know what we are here to do, and we shall not go into amnesia about it anymore. It's time, people. It is the moment. I'm calling it. Arrest me. Too, because I promise you all, as you begin to, this is so good hearing your voices. Think each person right now, each of you, notice inside of you how much you perked up when someone else shared. Raise your hand. Did you notice that? Every time one of you shared your light, whatever it is, we could be saying my tennis shoelaces are blue. No, they're not, they're green. Like whatever. It's the fact that you let your radiance out and you shine on others, because no one has your light. No one has your light. You are the only one with your light. So how do we benefit if you don't shine? This is the silliness that I've never understood when I began my journey. I'd say really intensely by 23. I was like, I needed to know. I needed to know. And by the way, never lose the seeking. A lot of people get a bad rap about seeking. There is not a moment that I don't seek out more light. There is not a place, there is not a person, there is not an instigation of an activity where I'm not seeking to see the greatest amount of light that I can pull out of that person. And I'm sharing that with you because many of you are bosses, many of you have staff, many of you have tribes and family. Pull the light out of them and don't accept less. And what I want to encourage is that as we go into Mastery 4, and I'm really hoping people are diligent in the muscles, because I'm starting to get the download of what those 12 sessions are going to look like and how it's going to take us into a different frequency. I'm going to review just 6 points right now, I think, or 5 or 7. I don't know. I'm uncontrollable. But number 1, you must be talking to your subconscious 24/7. And that's all explained in Mastery Series 1, First Call. You must be doing that. I speak in must. It's a really good idea. You're going to fall down and skin your knee a few too many times if you're not practicing that. That's 1. Number 2, stop your thoughts right now. Feel that. Feel how the absolute stillness came over all of us. a dozen times a day. That's a Bentino suggestion I got like 5 years ago. Amazing, or 3 or something. It changes the game. No matter what the person is saying to you or what you are thinking, all you have to do is go to the muscle of stopping your thoughts. God is no thing. It's no thought, no location. Learn to stop your thoughts and don't babble. Talk is chi. Invest your chi in that which will prosper you and others. Every day, you got to plug in twice a day from my experience. That means when you wake up in the morning, you do you. You don't do the phone. You don't do the email. You don't do the children. You don't do anything. You do you. If you have kids, you get up 15 minutes earlier. You sit there and, we'll also be teaching Kriya Yoga, and it's an amazing practice. I've been in it the last 6-7 months. So we'll be doing a whole lot of things over this next year that you'll get really good tools, guaranteed. I want to recommend that you just sit and do source breath, and then you, at some moment, you'll probably drop that. And then remember, contemplating your breath or contemplating a thing is still not quite the no thing space. And so you're intending to do that twice a day. The morning is, crucial. So and you'll feel the difference when you don't do it. You're a little more drained, you're more distracted. Then in the afternoon or evening, from my experience, you got to plug in for 5 to 10, 15 minutes every day anyway. You just need that as a muscle. The next thing to understand is that we're practicing and we're utilizing the purple flame. Every moment that division wants to occur, bring your purple flame of truth. And the last thing that I'll say in these, however many points I've made, I am the president of Funtopia, and every person has funorexia. So if you are not finding fun on a daily basis, you are missing the point. I want you to fuel all of these changes through fun, through laughter, hilarity. I mean, there's so many, even if you're laughing at how silly things are, even if it's crucial, whether it's stand up. I watched Dave Chappelle a few episodes lately, and man, he was such a visionary in his TV show from the 90s. He was literally calling out all the corruption in his show, and it was, I don't care what your flavor is. Humor every day. Humor every day. I'm going to add a new quality that I've not talked about enough: beauty. You love beauty. You do. You love to look at beautiful things. You love to feel beautiful. You love to radiate beauty. You love to appreciate beauty. One of the things in our new culture that we must reinstigate a value of the arts, whether it's sculpting or painting or photography or plays, or which I find mostly dead ass boring, but they're hard. I've decided I'm not a play person. Unless you're like at Hamilton in the first round with the best people, you're just kind of like, oh, nails on a chalkboard. But that's my arrogance in my own particular, thing. We all have that, but we need the arts. We need the arts. And whatever you consider beauty to be, it can be nature. It can also have to do with humans. It can also have to do with creation by humans. I want to see us make a beautiful community together. I want to see beauty to be one of the more important qualities that we bring in. Fun, beauty. Fun includes laughter. Okay. So that's that. Maybe you took notes, Chrissy, you put it in there. Maybe you could tell me what I said because I won't remember. and
We have a quick review. So this is what I took notes on. So you must be talking to your subconscious 24/7.
Yeah.
You need to stop your thoughts.
Yeah.
Talk is cheap. So really be careful about what you say and what you're
invest in upliftment when you speak. And that's a good investment. It will come back to you. What was the next one?
Okay. The next one was plug in twice a day.
Yes. Think about it. 2 points make a line which starts a pattern. Unless you have 2 points, you don't have a pattern beginning. Your rituals create your rewards. That could be said under that category. Your rituals create your rewards. You don't have good rituals, you don't get good rewards. What was the next point?
The next point was practice the purple flame.
Bring purple, bring the peace, bring the love, bring the unity everywhere you go, every day, all day long.
And then the next one was, which I loved your quote, I am the president of Funtopia. So find fun on a daily basis. Feel all of your changes through this fun. And that means laughing.
Heal your funorexia. Y'all have it. Promise. Heal it. Make this the 12-month cycle of no more funorexia.
And then the last one was love beauty. Make a beautiful community together.
Yeah, there you go. That was good. Y'all called that out. Thank you. So let's say I love you. Let's see if we can coordinate, which of course we never can. It's hilarious. Let's try it. We'll attempt again. Never give up. So on the count of 3, I'm going to do 1, 2, 3, and then we're going to say, I love you. Okay. 1, 2, 3.
I
love
You. Now let's just do it cacophony all at once. I love you. I love you.
I love
Love
you.
you.
I
I
love
love
you.
you.
Love you.
I
I
love you.
love you.
I love you.
I love
Hey,
I love you.
have an incredible, that was good. Have an incredible 11/11. Feel free to text me. I am going to be in Los Angeles, hopefully with some of my fun people. And there you go. God bless. We did it.